What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Detroit Lions video. Now, the Detroit Lions take on the Indianapolis Colts at Ford Field in just a couple of hours. And in today's video, before the game does kick off, I wanted to give you my predictions and my previews for this game, talk about what I think the Lions are going to do as a team, talk about what some individuals might be able to accomplish in this game, and overall just give you my predictions for the game. Now, before we do get into talking about these Week 8 predictions, if you are new to the channel and are enjoying this Detroit Lions content, please consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It only takes 2 seconds out of your day to do so, and it would help me out so much. So if you could do that, I would be greatly appreciative for it. It would help the channel out more than you could know. But with all that being said, let's get into talking about these Week 8 predictions and see what maybe the Lions might be able to accomplish when they do clash with the Indianapolis Colts. Now, my first prediction for this game is that the Detroit Lions defense, will finally have that truly dominant day, and they will have their best game of the season from a defensive perspective. Now, I came to this conclusion because if you look at the Colts, if you look at, if you watch them on, if you watch them live, if you watch their tape, and if you look at their numbers, their offense is extremely underwhelming. The Indianapolis Colts passing game and Phillip Rivers are 17th in the NFL in yards per, passing yards. They're 17th in passing yards. They're 28th in NFL touchdowns. So, I mean, if you look at their passing offense, they're very below average. They're, obviously 17th in yards, 28th in touchdowns. Not very good stat line. Phillip Rivers just doesn't have the arm to throw it a lot. Doesn't have the arm talent to push the ball down the field like he used to. And then you move over to the Colts rushing offense, and they are 32nd in yards and 27th in touchdowns. Now, we know how good the Lions defense has been the last couple of weeks. They've averaged giving up only 55 yards per game on the ground in the past 2 weeks, which if they were able to keep that pace for the whole season would be by far the best in the NFL. Their pass offense hasn't necessarily been elite, but it's been much better the past couple of games, especially against a very high-powered and high-flying Atlanta Falcons offense. And, if you look at the defensive performances the Lions have put out recently, you look at the fact that they've only allowed 55 rushing yards a game. They held the Atlanta Falcons to 21 points on the game. A very high-flying, high-scoring offense that could very easily put up 30-plus points a game. You look at the fact that their defense after the bye week has gotten so much better, and then you look at how bad this Colts offense has been playing. It just seems like everything is going to add up. Everything is kind of coming together for the Detroit Lions to have a truly dominant football game where they don't give up a lot of yards at all. They don't give up a lot of points at all. They get a lot of turnovers. They just have a really dominant day on the ground, and they just enforce their will on the Indianapolis Colts for a full 60 minutes. Now, the other reason that I think that, this is adding up to be a really good defensive game for the Lions is that, the Colts offense is probably the worst offense we've faced since the bye week. And I know I already mentioned how good the Lions have played since the bye, but, the Jaguars have a pretty, not good offense, but they have a pretty decent offense. James Robinson is a very good rookie running back. Minshew is okay. They have some decent receivers, and, their offense isn't horrible. Their offense isn't like a bottom 5 in the NFL. And obviously the Atlanta Falcons offense, I believe, is still second in the NFL in passing yards per game, still a very high-flying passing offense, and is still a very, good complementary run game to go along with it. But you look at the Colts offense, and they have a below-average passing offense and a bottom 3, bottom 2 rushing offense. The Lions have gotten better. The Lions are, playing much better defense than they were early in the season, and this is probably the worst offense the Lions have faced in the entire season. So I think that, the combination of all these factors just is adding up for the Lions to have a really good defensive football game, and I think that, the Lions can hold the Colts to, 10, 14 points at the most in this game if they come out and play really good defense like they have been in the past couple of weeks. Now, my second prediction, my second, takeaway, my second prediction for this game is that this game will be a very low-scoring game. It will be a very low-scoring slugfest, and we will see a probably 10-17 game. We will see a 17-14 kind of game where, it comes down to a last-second field goal. The teams, are trying to win. They have a trench battle for 60 minutes, and at the end of the day, it comes down to a field goal to win the game for one of the teams, and I just think it's going to be a very low-scoring game. Now, we've already talked about how bad the Colts offense is. We've already talked about how the Lions should have a really good day against this Colts offense that is very, very lackluster and very underwhelming. However, the Lions may not be able to put up points either, as statistically, the Colts are a very, very good defense, arguably the best in the NFL. I know that the other day we talked about, the Lions could have some advantages in that secondary. Obviously Marvin Jones and Xavier Rhodes have their history. Kenny Golladay is 6'3" on a 5'9" Kenny Moore. I think he has a size and speed advantage there that we can maybe take advantage of. And, I think the Lions have some advantages in this game, especially that our wide receivers versus their secondary. But overall, I think this game will be very low scoring. There's a reason that the Colts have a, very statistically high ranking defense. There's a reason that, they are 4-2. There's a reason that their defense is looked at as one of the best in the NFL. And, even with the advantages that the Lions might have, there are definitely reasons and definitely things you could point to say, well, the Lions might not be able to score a lot of points either because this Colts defense has been playing so good for the entire season. So, with the fact that the Colts offense isn't good and the Lions should be able to stop them, and the fact that the Colts defense is so good and probably will have a pretty decent day versus our Lions offense, especially if the play calling continues to be very bland and very vanilla like we saw last week. I think this could be a very low scoring game, a very, low scoring trench war kind of slugfest kind of a game where this game's going to end 14-17. This game's going to end, 17-21 kind of a game where, it's close all game. There's not a lot of scoring. If somebody gets a touchdown, that's a big event in the game because it's not going to happen a lot. And I just think that this game is going to be low scoring. I think it'll be fun to watch from a defense. If you're a defensive guy, I think it'll be fun to watch. If you're an offensive person that likes a lot of points, I don't think this will be the game for you because I think that, looking at both of these teams, how they play the game, I just don't think this game is going to be a shootout. I don't think this game is going to have a lot of points in it. And I think this game will end very, very low scoring and be a huge, slugfest kind of a game. Now, my third prediction for the game is that the Detroit Lions are finally going to have a home field advantage. They're finally going to have the forward field advantage that they were supposed to have this season. We all know that throughout the season so far, before week 8, weeks 1 through 7, the Lions were not allowed to have fans at the stadium. They weren't allowed to have fans at Ford Field. Fans weren't allowed to be there to add a little bit of energy, and they weren't there to cheer on their Detroit Lions. And, we also know the Lions haven't won a game at Ford Field this season. In fact, they haven't won a game at Ford Field in over 12 whole months. The last win came, I believe, in week 6 when we took on the Giants last season. So it has been over 12 months, over a full year since we have won at Ford Field. And I think that part of that, at least this season, is the fact that there was no crowd energy, there was no fans in the stadium, there was nobody cheering them on. And you might look at it and say, okay, well, the Lions are only bringing in 500 people, friends and family, to cheer for their friends, or to obviously cheer for their friends and family that are playing in the game. How big of a difference can 500 people actually make? Well, the Lions, obviously, the past 2 weeks have been at away games, right? They played at Jacksonville, and then they played at Atlanta. But, if you look at who was actually there, it seemed like there were a lot more Lions fans at both of those games than there were any of the home team fans. The Lions seemed to travel very well to Jacksonville, and they seemed to travel very well to Atlanta. And, even the small number of Lions fans that were there seemed to make a difference, added a little bit of energy to that defense, gave that team a little bit more energy, a little bit more to play for, because they were finally playing in front of some true Detroit Lions fans. And that even those 500, even those 1,000 people at those away games gave them that energy, gave them a little bit more spirit, gave them a little bit more energy on the defensive side of the ball, and it helped them make a couple more plays. It helped them do a little bit better things on the defense. And now we're bringing that back to Detroit so we can finally have a little bit of a home field advantage once again. And I think that, playing in front of a live crowd again, playing in front of, live people, especially people personally, friends, family, people like that, I think that's going to be huge for the Lions. I think that's going to add a little bit of momentum. It's going to add a little spark to the defense. It's going to add a little spark to the team overall. I just think that playing in front of a live crowd again it's different than playing in front of nobody. They're going to add a little bit more energy. They're going to add a little bit more hype to that building, and that's going to be infectious for the Detroit Lions players, and they're going to be able to go out there and they're going to be able to play even better than they have in the past couple of weeks because they finally have that home field advantage. Now, my last prediction for the game is I think Justin Coleman makes up for some lost time. Now, Justin Coleman was officially activated from injured reserves yesterday, and he is very likely to be playing in this week's game versus the Indianapolis Colts. Obviously, if he doesn't play, then this point is null and void, but it is very likely and looking increasingly likely that he will be playing, and he will be the starting nickel cornerback once again for the Lions in Week 8. He's missed 7 games now. He missed most of Week 1, and he's missed all the way through Week 7. This is his first game back since his hamstring hamstring injury, and I think Justin Coleman comes out and makes up for some lost time. Now, Darryl Roberts was his replacement for these 6 games, and Darryl Roberts played really, really poorly. He gave up a 71.1% completion percentage. He gave up 193 yards through the air and 2 touchdowns. Now, I'm not disrespecting Darryl Roberts. I thank him for everything he's done. I thank him for, obviously stepping up into a big role and doing the best he could, but he is not Justin Coleman. Justin Coleman will come in and have much better nickel cornerback play. He will come in and make up for some lost time. He will be aggressive. He will be nasty. He will be looking to rip that ball out every single time like he's accustomed to doing. He will get some pass defenses. He will get some deflections, and he may even get an interception because, we've talked about how bad this Colts passing offense is, and I think that Justin Coleman is going to come out with a vengeance. He's going to come out with a mindset that he's got to make up for some lost time. He missed 6 games. He missed 7 games. He's got to come out and make up for some lost time. He's got to get that interception. He's got to make those plays and prove that, this defense is better when he is out there on the field, and he's got to come back and prove to himself, prove to the fans of Detroit, and prove to his teammates that, he's just got to make up for lost time. He's going to come in with that mindset of, I've let these teammates down, I've let these fans down, so I've got to come out and I've got to play my butt off. I've got to play my best game of football and prove that I can still be a very valuable member of this Lions franchise and a very valuable member of this Lions team. With all that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. Those are my predictions for Week 8. Let me know your predictions down in the comments below. I'd be interested to see how you guys think this game will turn out. But with all that being said, that is all I got for you guys right now. If there is Lions news before tomorrow, then I will obviously make a video letting every single person know. But until then, that is all I got for you guys right now. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you all tomorrow with more Lions content. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.